this is Ani. Welcome back to a new video. So today's topic is going to be what's going to get you in alignment with your manifestations or desires. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Here's a close-up of pile number 1. Close-up of pile number 2. And pile number 3. Timestamps are linked below if you just want to jump into your reading. But those of you who want to stay for my prologue, Ani here, former engineer. Now she does tarot and all sorts of activities to make ends meet. And yeah, so if you want to get a personal reading as well, comment below and I'll send you some information. And it'll be awesome. It'll be personal and tailored specifically for you, and we can talk about pricing and everything, not in the comment section, but I'll send that over to you, the details of how to get in contact with me. There might be a way to get in contact with me in the description box as well if you want, but I'll have to double check that as well. But yeah, I think that's all. I'm gonna get started with pile number 1. Pile number 1, for your energy check, we have the Magician, the 3 of Cups in reverse, the 5 of Wands in reverse, and the 5 of Pentacles. So it looks as though you're trying to manifest whatever it is that you're trying to. And it looks as though people are not wanting to kind of celebrate with you or be with you. So you're not hanging out with friends. You're kind of doing this solo. And it looks as though conflicts are being released and whatever was holding you back is no longer there. And the 5 of Pentacles is talking about feeling abandoned and alone. And you're definitely feeling that right now. And I think it's due to not really having friends and having companionship. And you're just feeling alone. So you're trying to possibly manifest a new friend group, someone to come hang out with you, to take you out of your loneliness, or possibly some business partners to help guide you. And you're just kind of in that energy right now. Let's go ahead and see what can get you in alignment with your manifestation. What will help you get in alignment with your manifestation? And I just want to double check to make sure everything is being recorded. Last time I tried to do this and it didn't work. The recording just wouldn't work with me. But okay, so it looks like in order to get to where you're wanting to go, it looks as though there's going to be some obstacle against you. This could be a person, a place. It looks as though just there are some people who are not in harmony with you. It looks as though you'll have a lot of options and you'll be very successful in that endeavor. You're going to be juggling multiple options and it's kind of going to be given to you by the universe though. And it's as though the universe is giving you multiple options that you're going to be having to deal with. You're going to have to defend yourself against these people simply because, or kind of your position or your relationship or your finances kind of tailor that to what it is you're trying to manifest. But it kind of looks as though you're having fun with defending yourself though, and you're enjoying yourself. You're going to be a little bit stagnant though, where you're not seeing any real growth. You may have to hide your relationship though. You're not going to be able to publicly, or your finances, whatever your financial status is or your relationship, you're not going to be able to put it in display of the public or have that. So you're gonna kind of keep it secret, and I think it's best that way. Betrayal and lies will come out, and they will kind of let you know that, oh, people who are lying to me and deceiving me and out to harm me and are not with me are going to be revealed. You're not going to be quite balanced though, simply because I think you're going to be giving a lot in the beginning, and that might be possibly a bad situation to be in. Financially, if you're kind of giving more than you get back, then I think that's kind of an indicator that hopefully you're providing value and giving people valuable lessons or resources into what it is that they need to have done. And then we have you being super confident and just gaining the skill sets to move forward. And you're going to be moving forward really fast, really rushed. And so there's no worry there that it's going to take a long time. It's going to be happening relatively soon. But there is some delays simply because we have some stagnation. I think it's kind of the more effort that you're putting into and working on it, the better it will come for you. And that will help you get into alignment with what you're trying to manifest. Okay, that's what I have for your tarot section. Let's see what I have for your oracle. How can you get into alignment? How can you get into alignment with what you want? How can you get into alignment with what you want? And I'm just gonna try go one more time. Sorry, it's just last time as I was filming, it just stopped. I don't know if I didn't have enough space or time. Sorry, but what I mean is I didn't have enough memory possibly last time, but hopefully everything's gonna go well this time around. But yeah. So we have endurance in reverse. Patience is rewarded. So it looks as though you're not quite being quite patient. Sorry. But it looks as though you're kind of struggling you're wanting to see results sooner than you're able to. And with everything, you're just going to have to wait and be patient with what you're doing. And then you're magnifying your wealth, expand your reach, and then you're going to have to multiply your streams of income. It's interesting because I'm saying you have to. And I think this is just a growing period in your life. And you kind of feel a bit forced or pushed into the direction of growth. And you're going to be nurtured. Love is the real treasure. Take care of yourself and loved ones over all else. And like kind of that saying, birds of a feather flock together. And I don't really generally like that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking with this feather. And then I see the peacock as well. And it seems as though you're not going to be confident with your new friends or your new situation. I think it could be you don't feel like you're in the right place, or you feel along the lines of feeling out of place and you're not very confident, where you think that, oh, if I shine the brightest, then people won't like me and people won't be willing to hear what I have to say. And it looks as though you're trying to create influence, and that's why it's great influence going to the top is in reverse. So it looks as though you're not right now a great influence. I think there are certain mentalities that you have right now that can be a real struggle, and I think you just have to work on yourself, work on your anger issues, work on your emotions and your emotional regularity. And that comes with time. Even I struggle with it to this day. And it's never going to go away. You're going to crash out. You're going to get into a tizzy of what you're feeling. And it's never going to go away. And you'll just have to deal with those emotions when they come up and try to handle them in a graceful manner. I understand that you can't be perfect all the time, but try to find new coping mechanisms in order to get there. And then we have Nibukt, Mother Mut, Alchemist, Wisdom, Keeper, Grandmother in reverse. So it looks as though you're not going, interesting, as I was kind of talking about your emotions, you're not going to be able to really alchemize your emotions. You're going to want to just release them, and they're just going to build up, and it's going to be really difficult for you. I would suggest probably going to the gym, going out for a walk, or going out to eat food, or doing anything to get you out of that situation or that environment, and relying heavily on yourself and your own intuition and guts rather than someone else. And then we have the pyramid in reverse as well, which is sacred architect element of earth. And so it seems as though you don't feel as though the universe is on your side. So these could be earth signs that are kind of against you and that are secretly plotting against you and wanting to see you out. So I'd be cautious of them. And they might have earth placements, not necessarily that they have to be solely an earth sun sign. But I kind of feel as though what's going on with you is not entirely kind of be working towards you. Then we have thought, illumination, architect of wisdom, enlightened communication. So definitely work on your communication skills. Work on what emotions you're feeling. Work when you need help and you want to reach out to someone, especially about finances, go seek a financial advisor. Don't think that you're the smartest person in the room. I know you can be very arrogant and cocky, but remember, being humble and humility is very important. And so try to embody that. And just because you may possibly know everything in the room, understand that there is more that can be learned and can be given to you. And so try to communicate with people, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, try seeking a counselor or a close friend. Reach out to your friends, open up to them, even though, and I just want to warn you that people who try to isolate you from your friends are not really good for you. And if you can't talk to them about what you're doing, then you're probably not in the right direction. And if you don't trust your friends, seek a financial advisor, go on YouTube, Reddit, and I'd be really cautious with people when, like, look for proof, solid, hardcore, documented proof that they're willing to give you, than relying solely on emotion and thinking someone is in a better position than you without any factual proof and documentations. And then we have the Sphinx, which is Divine Messenger, Earth Altar, Cosmic Library. So it's kind of interesting because we have the Divine Messenger where the universe is on your side. They do want to help you. They definitely want to be there for you, but they can't protect you from every little aspect, of your life. And so just be cautious of that. And sometimes what you're looking for in a person is not actually what you're looking for. Like, it's more of a trauma response, and you have that inside of you all along. And so, yeah, just remember that. And then for your Wild Unknown card, we have the Mountain, and we have the green, blue, and purple chakras that I can think of. So that's the heart chakra, your throat chakra, and then your crown chakra as well. And so that's like your head, basically. So you're going to be using a lot of mental energy. You're going to have to pierce through what you're doing and be very firm as a mountain and unwavering. And you kind of see this person being shielded by everything inside this mountain. And you see, like, internally there's yellow and red, and so it's like kind of reminding me of a fire burning within this mountain, and has energy and raw power. So kind of letting you know that internally you have the raw power to do what it is that you want to. Just go forth and fail and mess up and continue falling, and you will get to the place that you want to. But yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that all came through. Leave a like, comment below, subscribe. It's all free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Share my contact with other people as well who you think would enjoy it. But yeah. And if you want a personal reading, something a little bit more tailored to your specific situation, email me or comment below and I can get that information to you and we can work something out. But yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 1. I'm gonna get started with pile number 2. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that nothing happens while I'm doing this reading. So, yeah. Pile number 2. So your energy check-in is the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. So it looks as though you're in a masculine, or you might be a man, or the person that you're working with is, you're in a very analytical, logical mindset, and you're wanting to communicate with someone, but it looks as though you're not very supported by your family physically or tangibly. You have a lot of anxiety, and it seems as though you're kind of stressed about the family unit or where you're living, or your finances and possibly giving someone a happy family, being able to provide for them, or if they'll be even able to provide for you. And I think you think this person is in a higher position than you are and they're very stable, but they might not actually be. But let's dive into how you can get into alignment with what you're trying to manifest. How can you get into alignment? 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 Okay. So if you're wanting a romantic interest to come in, that is definitely a possibility. I think in order to get this romantic offer, though, you have to be in moderation of your own emotions, of seeing them and not being around them as well. And you might get into some trouble into conflict because you might not be in moderation. I think that might be some of your fears, but your frustrations and the conflict is going to be resolved. I think possibly giving them a gift or some words of affirmation or a card or some loving offering to them or gesture that they'll accept. And I think this could be a way to help make things a little bit easier. You might not be very financially stable, though. This person also might not be very stable as well, but I definitely see that you will have a happy family and a loving relationship, but it's something that you're going to have to defend, and people are kind of going to work against you, and you're not going to really collaborate with anybody. Whatever the universe is willing to give you, though, you're going to accept. And so I think this is a caution, though, that just because someone comes into your life, not to go off and flirt with them and be around them. Make sure you're having firm boundaries with people and with gifts as well, and letting them know that there are some gifts that are a little bit too expensive for you to receive. And I think possibly even with your own gifts, don't be so extravagant with what you're trying to give someone. Make sure it's a small offering that's sweet and simple, and just letting them know that, oh, this is a token of my appreciation, and yeah, I really appreciate you hanging out with me, or for your time, or for going out on a date with me. And if you're a female, that you don't have to give them like anything besides possibly a message at the end of the day saying, oh, thank you so much for taking me out, I had a great time. And so, yeah. But it looks as though you're going to have to defend whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or get into alignment with. And you might kind of struggle with it a little bit, but overall, I think you'll be okay. And you just have to moderate kind of your own emotions and your time and energy, and make sure you're not feeling burnt out or that other person is feeling burnt out, and it's all hunky-dory. But yeah, that's what I have for your tarot section. Let's see what we have for the oracles. how can you get into alignment? It's interesting. So I kind of noticed this simple living, enjoy your life. Okay, I want to pull that card. How can you get into alignment? Okay, so it looks as though you don't have a positive focus right now. So it says stay optimistic, and you seems you are a very pessimistic person. That's okay. I think it's better to be realistic and prepare for the worst than for the best, because that's life most of the time. But also remember, you have hidden wealth, unlocked treasures within. True riches are not just what you see, but what you feel. This is kind of like saying to cultivate your own emotions and cultivate your own skills, your own hobbies, your own talents. And this is just a reminder, you can be talented, but if you never practice or work on your talent, then you won't get anywhere. And people who work on their talent and put effort into what they're trying to do always pays off more than someone who just has raw talent. Leadership role in reverse, position of power. So it looks as though you're wanting to have this position of power, but you don't. And I think you can be struggling and stressed with kind of getting there. And I think it's kind of, when I say kind of, I mean to say, try not to be so in a rush into getting to that position of power. Make sure you're providing value, making sure that whatever you're doing is up to the best point that you can, and that everyone's getting what they need to. And just a kind of reminder that simple living, enjoy your life. It's not like, oh, treat yourself and do all this, everything, you know, make sure you're living in moderation. Because I think you might get into a habit of overindulging yourself and overspending, and I think you might not have the facts entirely as well. So be cautious of that. Try not to get too greedy of what you're doing, and make sure you're taking a step back and that you're looking at everything clearly and logically, and that you're getting proof and documentations, so you don't get trapped or lured in by these people who are out against you. And we have keep swimming, you're in the flow. You're getting there, but it just takes time. So just a reminder that you're going to get there. Just make sure you're following your own wisdom and you're not allowing someone else to help guide you, even though they may seem innocent and thoughtful and helpful in the beginning. They're not actually. So rely on your own logic and your own realizations of everything, because it can get you into a really bad place. And if they're not not to say that, oh, they're not documented or anything, but if they don't have real solid proof that who they are, or if they try to isolate you from your friends or tell you not to tell anyone who they are, that could be a scam. And there have been a lot of scams out there, so just be cautious of that. And I just don't want you to get into a financial position where it's kind of, I don't fully know this person, but a person who is very trustworthy and honest will always be there to give you time and space and won't rush you or get upset with you. And then we have Anubis, surrender, shaman, enlightened heart in reverse. So I don't think you're fully surrendering to the universe, where I find that you're kind of resistant to change and or being a little bit stubborn, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But just try to remember that to look at people from their own perspectives. Then we have Nifris, the High Priestess, Intuition, Mystery in reverse. I think this is where you're feeling doubt and confusion. And I think this is where Thoth, Illumination, Architect of Wisdom, Enlightened Communication. So when you're in doubt of your own intuition, try communicating with your friends, people that you trust, advisors, financial advisors, people who actually have been in healthy, good relationships, and possibly even the relationship you have with yourself. Are you happy being on your own? Are you moping? Are you depressed? And kind of how can you fill your life with activities that you enjoy? What is it that you enjoy doing? Do you like eating food? Do you like creating art? Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Start doing that. Start moving in the direction of where you want to go, and everything will follow through. Do you want to start TikToks? It's just kind of finding little moments to make yourself happy, and possibly even just going out for walks, or make sure you're using skin protection, sunscreen, sun umbrellas, sun hoodies. Don't melt in the sun if it's too hot, please. And so, yeah, make sure you're taking precautions against the weather as well. And if it's not hot and it's snowing as a blizzard, make sure you're taking precautions to protect yourself from the snow and the cold weather as well. So, yeah. Then we have Sothis, Star Conscious, Generosity, Bodhisattva in reverse as well. So I kind of feel as though the universe isn't entirely on your side, where it's kind of, I don't want to say, oh, there's karmic debt that you have to pay, because I think everyone makes mistakes and everything happens for a reason, but just be cautious, just because this can be a time period that is rather difficult for you. And in order to get in alignment with what you're wanting to do, you kind of have to continue going against the grain, going against the universe. Like, the universe will test you. Is this what you really truly want? And it'll put upheaval battles for you, and it might cause you to doubt yourself of, do I actually want this? Is this where I want to be? And so it just kind of, I think that's where you have to be a little bit more positive, but it's better to be more realistic and prepared than what it is. And then for your Wild Unknown card, we have the Castle, we have the Green Chakra, and then we have Pearls. So that reminds me of joy, and then we have the Pink Rose as well, Innocent Love. So try not to be so lustful and so sexually charged with your emotions. Try to come from a place of stability, longevity, and yeah. And then we have this eye as well closed with these rings of, not rings, but these studs and crystals on our eyelids. So the kind of reminds me of star consciousness, where it's in your sleep or in meditation or in calm places. When you're in a calm place of mind, you'll get that clarity. And yeah. So that's all I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for watching my video. Like, comment below, subscribe, and yeah. And if you want to book a personal reading as well, I am taking personal readings. There should be some information in my description box, or you can comment below and I can get that information to you as well. And then pile number 3, we have the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands, Justice, and the Ten of Cups for your energy check-in. So you're very nurturing, you're very loving and caring. You have someone who's very passionate and a little bit more sexually charged towards you. There is going to be some karmic balances and you're going to be very fulfilled and happy currently with your energy check-in. So I feel as though you're in the right place. So let's go ahead and see how you can get into alignment with what you're trying to manifest. It seems as though you're already in alignment. So it could be just that you're looking for confirmation or verification that, oh yeah, what I'm doing and how I'm going about this, yeah, I'm on the right path. Okay. How can you get into alignment? Okay. Okay, so it looks as though you're going to have to keep some aspects of your life a secret and not being so open with what you're doing, simply because it looks as though some people might be against you and you're going to be having some setbacks and kind of playing a little bit more aloof and being a little bit more indecisive and not giving people a straightforward answer will help. There's a person who is not emotionally wanting to help you and they're a little bit more lustful in their approach, and so I'd be cautious of that because you're kind of planning to be on a journey and you're going to want to defend what it is you're trying to manifest or your desires. And it looks as though you're going to be starting a new beginning because with all these setbacks from this particular individual, probably this because it seems as though there could be two people involved, two men, and one person is more sexually drawn to you than the other, and one of them is not emotionally drawn towards you and they're just kind of not there. And so I just be cautious of that. And in order to get more in alignment with what you're desiring, I think it's just having that new beginning and defending yourself and kind of really holding firm to your boundaries and sticking to what you say and following that. And don't be offering empty threats and not following through. Just make sure if you say I'm going to leave or this is going to happen, you follow through with those with what you said you're going to do, and so no one gets confused. I think it might be slow at first with what you're trying to manifest, so that might take time. And I think it could be possibly because I think what you're wanting to manifest is not actually what you truly want. And you will find out later on as you're going through your journey that you want to manifest something different and be with a different type of person or a different financial outcome, or what you're kind of doing is not conducive to the life that you want. And that's why you're going to be setting off on a new journey and trying different avenues. So that's what I have for the tarot section. Let's go ahead and see what the oracles have for you. Sorry, I'm just really paranoid after I've made multiple attempts in trying to film this video and it hasn't been working out. Like, really? Hopefully this time's a charm, you know? Okay, so it seems as though resources, wealth grows over time. Make the most of what you have, use it wisely. So this is kind of that compounding effect. The more time that you have to compound your money or whatever it is that you're trying to do, love and money happens with time. Getting to know someone takes time. Don't rush into a relationship. So I think it's just a reminder to do that. And then creative work, express your genius. So you could be wanting to go into a more creative field or possibly go on more fun dates. Be a little bit more creative with your dates that you're going out on, or even experimenting with the kind of people you go out with. So try dating different people outside of your normal dating preference and you might find the one. They might not check off every single box, but it would be worth trying. And then we have movement in reverse, getting ahead, travel for work. So it looks as though you might not be moving kind of your job. Kind of might be that you're feeling a bit stuck or you have to stick it out for a time period, and that's okay because you'll gain a lot of resources. And what I mean by resources, I mean that you'll gain a lot of skill and knowledge from pushing through what it is that you have to. And then we have bloom with ease. Life doesn't need to be hard, so relax and don't worry. It's okay to rest now. So it's kind of like allowing your environment to help you blossom and grow. And if you're struggling to find an environment to grow in, maybe that's not the environment you need to be in. Find supportive friends, reach out to people, talk to new people, try visiting new places, going out for walks, take tracks, take public transportation, learn how public transportation works, and just kind of go on about that, and it'll be okay. And then we have bountiful career, convert seeds to profits. This is in reverse, so it seems as though you might be struggling financially for a time period because you might have made some financial mishaps, and that's okay because that's part of a learning phase. But you're just going to have to regrow those seeds, and it might take some time, and just be a little bit more thoughtful and more cautious when you're spending money. And remember, don't spend money that you don't have. Only spend money that you have. And so don't go into credit card debt, don't go into all this other stuff. Just spend the money that you physically own. And so, yeah. Then we have the pyramid, the sacred architect element of earth in reverse. So I kind of see that some earth signs are against you, or just Mother Nature is not entirely on your side, and just be cautious. Make sure that whatever you're doing, that you're just taking a lot of precautions into what you're doing. Then we have the Nile, sacred architect element of water. So take some cleansing showers, bathe yourself, use water to purify yourself. In the morning, splash water, cold water, or whatever it is. Make sure you're in really conscious when you're doing your activities for the day. Then we have the desert, sacred architect element of fire. So this could be lighting candles, lighting incense, and just praying, not necessarily praying, but because you may not be a religious person, but make an offering to your ancestors or your spirit guides or whatever deity that you're working with, or just the universe in general. It doesn't have to be a specific god or goddess or whatnot. Kind of light something for yourself, even your higher self. But candles may play a significant role in your life, and that's interesting because we only have air that's missing. So make sure you're using kind words towards yourself, towards people around you, and yeah. Then we have Sobek and Oris, reconciliation of opposites, forgiveness and understanding. So make sure that you come from a place of understanding and you're forgiving, and that doesn't necessarily mean forgiving the other person. It can just be yourself. You don't have to forgive another person because there are some actions that are unforgivable, and so just be cautious of that. But just definitely move on from the past hurt and the past trauma, the past wounding, and you don't have to hold on to that anymore, and you can move on and let go of that. That will help you get in more alignment with what you're wanting to manifest and desire. And then finally, for your Wild Unknown card, we have the Mountain. Pile 1 also got the Mountain as well, so there might be some information if you felt drawn to watch Pile 1 as well, but you don't have to. The chakras I have are green, blue, and purple. So that's the heart chakra, the throat chakra, and then the crown chakra as well. And so your upper body, basically your mental energy, will be kind of your guidance, and you're trying to find stability and peace through all of it. And definitely see you shielding yourself from outside attack, which is interesting because we have the pyramid in reverse and then we have the mountain. And so you might be I think you might be shielding yourself from people who are earth signs or earth placements. So just be cautious that not to say don't be yourself or anything, but don't fully open up to these people and let yourself be in a vulnerable position, because they might be out to hurt you. And if that's not resonating, feel free to disregard that message and leave it for somebody else. But not everyone is out to help you, and they might be truly against you. So just be cautious of that. Make sure you're getting the proper help that you need, and be cautious of people who are messaging you or texting you or getting hold of your number. And don't just follow blindly into blind faith, because that might lead you astray. And so, yeah. But that's all I have for you, my Anotarians. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Leave a like, subscribe, comment below.